I'm new to the whole live thing, so I don't know what the deal was. I kept on repeating the first two or three words that I said, so anyhow. So anyway, I'll wait a few seconds and maybe everybody that was on my first one can hop over and well, there's Cajun. What's up, buddy? I don't know. We're getting some pretty bad storms, so I don't know if that's got anything to do with what was the problem with the first one or not. That's why I'm not in the garage. It's raining so hard you can't even hear yourself think. So I need to get off this one and go to my new one, I guess, so I can read everybody's comments. What's up, Zach Johnson? How are you? Cajun riding home from Lake Charles. It's cool. Should be getting that 462 next week sometime. We'll try that thing out. Supposedly that 400 that I bought off of eBay, that's supposedly a ripsaw, should be here Monday, it said. So we'll get it out and do a little comparing to your 400, the 462, of course, and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, I'm sure I'll like it. I've not ran a saw that you built for me yet that I haven't liked. They're all really, really stout. Really, really stout. Yeah, typically, I appreciate that. I don't go live a lot, which this is the first time I've ever been live, just due to the fact that, well, when you first start YouTube, you know, it's a big process at first. You gotta get monetized, get all your stuff going and all that, and then, like I know some people, you try to go live, it makes you wait a week and all that. So finally, I was thinking about going live, and I clicked on it, was going to wait the week or whatever, and it went ahead and let me. So I guess once you get so many watch hours and subscribers and whatnot, then then it's not such a big hassle. Yeah, Cajun, me too. I want to know how far they went on that ripsaw. And really, the reason why I got the 500 and the 400, not anything against the way the saws y'all build me run, because I love them, and these two saws will probably be the last rip saws that I ever will ever purchase, because I don't, and this is a bold statement, but it's hard for me to see anybody else build a saw that will run it any better than y'all's. I don't think anybody can build a saw that will run any better than you or Aaron build. And you know, it's just one of them deals. And not knocking nobody else, just those are really stout saws. But the reason I bought the 400 is it was really cheap. I give less for it than I did than you could a brand new 400. So it was like $1,000. And so, you know, that's why I got it. What's up, JK Saw Shop? Yeah, and that's all I'm wanting is work saws. I'm not wanting, I'm not wanting any race saws out of those saws. Now, you know, we've talked about that 7900. When I send it, it may be a it may be a candidate for a race saw, because really with my schedule and work and everything, I'd like to go to a lot of saw events, but it's hard for me to make it really. I'm so busy doing other things around the house and trying to put out content and whatnot, and with work. So 902 Hand, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I'm sure I'll like it. There's no doubt that I'll like it. Like I say, every saw that I've ever gotten, I've had no complaints about whatsoever. So I know Josh Sweet likes those steels. May have to get him on some of them. I don't know if I'm lagging or what, so we're just going to go with it and see how it does. It'll be what it'll be. Yeah, Trevor 9671 for sure. The 500's a really good saw. The 500, and I used to be a Husky guy, no doubt about it. That's all I ever ran. I was totally against steel. Like, I even talked trash about them. And you know, I bought the 500 mainly for the channel, to have new saws on the channel, because there's so many people out there that like different saws, you know, Huskies or Steels and Makita's Domars and all that kind of thing. And the 500 was a fairly new saw, and one reason I got it, I heard good things about it and wanted to try it for myself, of course, but, you know, I thought it would help my channel out as far as getting more people interested in it. And that's the reason why I purchased that. And then when I got it, I really, really liked it, and everybody raved about the 400, about like they do the 500, so I got it. And those two saws really made me fall in love with the Steels. So that's why I end up getting those steel saws. And I still like Huskies. I think they both have really strong points, you know, just depending on what you want in a saw. So yeah, those 372s, they really, really run good once they're ported. Yeah, typically I do. You can pretty well ask Cajun or Aaron, either one. Quite a few of the saws I send them, well, that 462 and the 400 even, they had little to no runtime on them. And let's see, what other saw? But anyway, so yeah, I typically don't, because the warranty to me is only good as the people that back it. And you know, 9 times out of 10, if you send something for warranty, then they're going to be, in my experience, they jack you around too much. Like when I had problems on my first 592, yeah, they was going to look at it, but it was going to be up to 6 months possibly before I could even get it back. I can buy a cylinder. I had a cylinder in 2 weeks, you know, so I don't deal with warranty much, just because it's a hassle, and half the time, by the time you deal with all the people, and then they don't even, you know, they don't stand behind half of it, or it costs you money anyway, so why not go ahead and fix it yourself. Yeah, that's the way I kind of feel about Steel. They either have some really, really good saws, or they're really, really not so great. And I believe Huskies like that too, in a way. They have some good saws, and then in a way they have some saws that's, yeah, you know. Yeah, I like Echo saws too. I've never dealt much with their warranty, so I don't know. I like the Echo 2511. I like Echo saws pretty well. I like the 590 and the 620p. And they say that 7310 once ported, you can get some pretty good gains out of it. I guess it's kind of like the 372 for sure. So, no connection. Power went out, so I lost Wi-Fi. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still right here because it's got connection, but I just lost it here on this. Try to get back on it. Catch up here on my comments. Yeah. That's your phone?
Yeah, I feel a little.
So I
It may be under me.
don't know. Can't read the comments. Can you get it to where I read the comments? Anyway, yeah, so it's storming pretty bad. I lost Wi-Fi connection. We've had storms off and on for the past 2 days. Just pop up. It's been really hot here today. I don't know about everywhere else. It's been terribly hot here. Like heat advisory hot. I agree with Cajun. That's what's been up here. The temperature very.
You'll have to
so.
log in yours, because that's mine.
We should still be able to get on the video.
It is on the video, but not on the comments.
Really?
Yep.
Maybe I'll try on this one. It should go back right now.
No, Wi-Fi looks like it's still out. Now it's popped back on.
Oh.
It just now came back on, so it put up.
Sorry, guys. I'm getting there. What's up, Justin Weaver? Super Dave Outdoors is here. I don't know where y'all are from, but if it's real hot like that and humid, we always have pop-up thunderstorms. Hell, there was probably, what, downside of hell there
Oh, yeah.
a minute ago or better. Pretty crazy. JK said if you're going to talk, get in frame where everybody can see it.
Well, I mean, I did not know that you were going to be in our daughter's apartment here and with Christmas stuff and all that. So.
Yeah, we still got Christmas decorations. We
No, that's
we like to celebrate Christmas all year long.
No.
I'm just messing with you. I'm downstairs in the basement. Like I say, the garage is too noisy.
I'm going to go to
She might, yeah, Katie, she might not know everything that I that I get sent. Cajun said he bets that you hate me for all the portasaws he does.
Yeah, I've been finding out. I did not know that my son was actually hiding them, taking them to the basement.
I have been bringing them in through the basement. That way she don't know how many saws come in through the day. You know what I mean?
I wonder if you said it better.
Yeah, I'm kind of country. I can't help it. I'm kind of redneck, and most of my neighbors don't like me. I lived in the country all my life, and we bought this house, I think 5 years ago, and which I like it down pretty good. I miss having land. We want to get some land again, but so I can store all my junk, trailers and tractors and everything, where everybody can't see them. What I'm getting at is my neighbors kind of, they think we're, a little junky, I guess. They fuss from time to time, but they'll be all right for sure. I think it's funny. Yeah, Yeah, she worried about stuff like that, Christmas decorations and whatnot, and me, I don't really care. You know, she worried about how the yard looks and all that, and yeah, I don't. That stuff don't excite me. Give me a few saws or an old truck, you know, I'm pretty happy. So. Yeah, yeah, we stay behind too. Well, we started. We keep my grandson quite a bit more, and man, he's like 2, close to 2, and he really keeps us busy. That's kind of somewhat why the content has slowed down a little bit. Not a lot of it. A lot of it's me working on the porch and just work in general. I took on. Not a new role, but I took on an extra crew. I supervised one crew, and then the opportunity came that I could watch another one, you know, and I took that on. So it takes a lot of my time during the day. You know, I used to get home a little earlier, and now I don't. So. Yeah, Danny, when they need something, the last few trees I've done has been in the neighborhood, and actually the last 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Because like I say, we've had some bad storms. We've had bad storms ever since February. You know, I posted that one short. Oh, thank you, JK Saw Shop. I appreciate that. Josh, give you $20 for a summer decoration for.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, when I was younger, or even 5 years ago, we didn't hardly have any neighbors. We're both from the country, and I guess moving in the subdivision kind of new to us. We don't know how to act. But yeah, they'll come, you know, when they need something, they come want me to help them fix it, whether it be roofing or building something or whatever. It's all good though. Try to help everybody out. I like me some crawfish from down there. I used to do construction, and we'd come down there every once in a while and do some work. And I'd always buy that fresh crawfish, like the 5-pound bags or whatever. Pretty good stuff. Good stuff.
Tell JK I didn't get to use the tent. We got
Thank you, I appreciate that. I get all my hats off eBay, typically.
I got you that for Father's Day.
This hat?
Yes.
I ordered it off eBay. You got me another hat. Still hat.
From Monroe.
It's similar to this, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I bet y'all eat tons of crawfish down there. What boot brand do you recommend? I like Thorogoods, which I don't wear. I mean, I do have a pair of logging boots, but I had a pair of Carolina logging boots, and then I had a pair of they're a cheaper light brand, I guess. I don't even know what they're called. But typically for work, I wear Thorogood, the wedge sole. I don't know what the number is or whatever. They're not couch cushions or whatever like some people call them. They're just all leather. They do have an insole. To me, I like boots with, you know, not tons of padding in the bottom of them, but a little bit of insole. I mean, it's 2020, not 1860. I don't like walking around on, you know, just wood like shoes like some people claim, you know. Yeah, I don't know much about, I mean, high-end logging boots. Like I say, I had a pair of Carolinas, and they done all right. And then this other pair that I've got, They're okay, but I don't wear them all the time unless I'm on something kind of muddy or steep. Of course, you know, I figure people like Nick's and all that handmade boots, probably hard to go wrong with any of them, but they're fairly expensive. Yeah, I bet y'all do have all kinds of crazy critters down there. Snakes and gators. JK's been wearing Nick's for 2 years. He's had no issues. And I think he told me he got 2 pair on sale or something for a pretty good deal. Yeah, I like ported saws. Yeah, once you run a ported saw, it's really hard to go back to something stock, especially if you got somebody that's really good at ported saws. You know, I'm gonna call above average. That's why I've got quite a few saws sitting around, or I'm trying to get more saws ported, because once you run something that's got so much power, and light, you know, it's hard to go to running something heavy and slow, you know. Missy.
Well, I'm trying to get you set up, brother.
Oh, you're alright. I'm just giving you a hard time. You get it?
No, you just come in to the
You don't know how to turn it down? Come on, Mom.
Yes, I know how to work the computer, but I'm trying to go through the.
Yeah, I like Red Wings. Before I was wearing the Thorogoods, I wore the 402s, the Red Wing 402s, and the slip-ons, and I probably wore Red Wings for 20 years. I wore about every kind of Red Wing there is. I like them boots pretty good, and to me, Thorogood is pretty close, you know. I like the wedge sole just for comfort, which Red Wing makes those too. Yeah, that's kind of why I don't wear logging boots all the time. It's just, you know, when I was younger, I wore the Red Wings with heel, like the Pecos or whatever, like the cowboy boot looking Red Wings. And as I got older, you know, to me the heel's not as comfortable. I like a low heel, even in cowboy boots or whatever, a lower heel. And that's why I'm not real fond on the logger boots. But I think Nick's does have like a kind of a mid-heel logger. And, you know, but yeah, I've had a pair of, what other kind of logging boots did I have? I can't remember. Anyway, they was a pretty expensive logging boot, but they flat wore me out at the end of the day, but they was insulated and steel toe and all that, so. Stoic the Vast, 5-quart saws. Do you have a YouTube channel? I think I'm pronouncing that right. Stoic the Vast? Stock the Vast? I don't know. I'm just going to call you the Vast. I don't know how to pronounce that first word. Oh crap, my phone quit again.
There you go. You're
Yep.
where you need to be at. There you go.
Oh man, your hand you're in a pocket on a shirt. JK says 11:55 right now. Cat's meow. Yeah, now you will fall and bust your ass with these wedge saw. I got that little hill, and I'll show y'all in a video or something sometime when they ain't coming to flood. But took out that rock wall, or not a rock wall, but brick wall, from doing that porch and all that. And there's a pretty steep hill there, and I've come through there many a times, and by the time I get to the bottom of it, I'm sliding on my butt for sure.
Is it all popping up the way it needs?
Do what?
Is Is it popping up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's typing or not. How do you move it? With your finger?
No. Yeah, they're sitting there reading them off right here. Oh yeah, we got Andrew. Okay, you messed us up.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I understand. Y'all bear with us. That may be caught up, yeah. Oh, here we are. That's it.
Well, you stay on that.
Okay.
Let me go get you a mouse so you can operate it.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for this, honestly. Oh, she can't be messed up. Yeah, she didn't want to get in the camera because she said she was dirty, like anybody can see her, or like see how dirty she is, or smell her. Is my wife ran imported salt? No, she run the 400 stock a little bit. I don't think she's ran any imported sauce. But I'm gonna try to get her next time we go out, which used to happen with me all the time when I was cutting, like, or whatever I was doing. She pretty much was with me. And like say, since we've been watching my grandson Layton, she's not been able to come out with me quite as much like she was. But still, on the weekends, he goes to his dad's or whatever, and when we get this porch deal done, I'm gonna try to get her back starting them, and let her run some imported ones. She'd run a saw. She'd ran chainsaw with me before, a while back, several years ago. But it was just little saws, like like a 40cc Husky or whatever. So. Yeah, now she likes my little 2511. She ain't never run it, but just the size of it, she thinks that'd be her kind of saw. Super Dave dropping off a ported saw this evening. Cool deal, man. Yeah, the ported saws, of course, when you first, until I really got around YouTube, I never ran much ported saws or even heard of them, and never really knew there was as many kinds of saws as there was, because all my family ever run really was steel chainsaws, because that's what you could get up here at the southern states, and of course they wouldn't like me. They were tight with their money. I think my great uncle had a 066, and then that's what he fell with, and then he logged up with like a little bitty like a cheaper saw, like it might have been a Poland or something, I don't know, which not all Polands are cheap, but you get what I mean, like it could have been a homeowner saw as far as I know, and not really like me not having 20 saws.
You got it where you need to be?
Yeah, I think so. I think it pops up every time it needs to.
Okay, don't touch nothing.
You just drag it down, don't you?
Yeah, leave it alone.
Okay. Yes. But yeah, so, and like wedging, until I really got to watching YouTube, I never knew anything about wedging trees over hardly. They pretty much would try to swing them or use trickery to get them to where they wanted to go, and if they didn't do that, they'd get them as close as they could to wherever they wanted them to go, and don't get me wrong, every once in a while they'd use, I think he had a couple old steel wedges like what you try to split wood with. He would bang some over, but never no more than one wedge in a tree, and not that often.
Nothing may be lagging.
That could be. Well, I ain't seen any,
There's one.
yeah, I can see him on the phone somewhat. It's a little behind, but not that bad. Josh Sweet said he likes the way you talk.
Thank you.
He used to live here and he moved to Pennsylvania. And they all make fun of him up there. He said, I'm no tree feller. Yeah, I'm right the opposite, which I ain't much of a tree faller either. I can get by, but I definitely am not a saw builder. I can bolt crap on, and I can take one apart, but I'm not getting into all that important stuff. Not right now, anyway. I'd like to try one saw, but apparently I got a lot to learn from what we talked about the other day. You kind of blew my mind with all that duration stuff and whatnot. What size bar would run? I like the 28-inch bar. Just mainly, mainly because I run the West Coast Saw Dogs, and they're a little large, so you lose a little bar. But 28 is my favorite because around here you can pretty much, you're not going to find a tree very often that you can't cut with a 28. If you cut through both sides or whatever, 3 sides, there are logging especially. You might come across a few yard trees here and there that's fairly big in size, but like I say, typically you're going to get through everything with a 28, no problem. And if I was running just like East Coast dogs or whatever, a 2-foot bar would be fine. But I like a 28. I don't like a 32 because, or a 36 because the chain pops off all the time. All those West Coast guys, they're always putting their chain back on, which they've got it figured out. They can do it pretty quick. I just don't like dealing with it, so I like a 28. Light bar. If I had to run a heavy bar all the time, I guess it'd be a 24 just because of the weight. But my favorite is the Steel Light 28-inch. But yeah.
You can fix it.
No, that's all right. I don't do much saw porting, I don't guess. I messed with that little Amazon saw a little bit, and oh man, I think I went totally the wrong way. I didn't understand as much about porting as I thought I did, so. Yeah, I can wrench on them all right, like like say bolt stuff on, take the cylinder off and the piston, do all that kind of stuff. But it gets a little foreign to me if you got to start taking the cases apart and putting seals in. I'm not real good at rebuilding carburetors. I've never done it. I probably could learn how to do it, I guess. I would say that I'm not really a novice, but not a pro, like in between, you know what I mean? And I'm definitely not a saw porter. Like I say, I don't really understand. I mean, I thought I got the concept, but I don't get it all. I'd like to get a saw and try it myself, Not that I'm going to get into doing, because grinding on them and doing all that really ain't my thing. Like it wears me out just to grind a muffler mod on one, really. It gets on my nerves, I want to hurry up and get it done, and it makes a mess and all that. My forte, I really like cutting better, falling trees and cutting firewood and whatnot. People like Cage in there and JK, I'll leave the saw building and putting together and all that, important to them. Yeah, just I think I might. I mean, I probably could. I think I could learn it. You know, it just would take me a while, and you know, I've talked with Cajun about it some. And we've texted back and forth, and he's explained a few things to me, and I've tried to. I have a better understanding of it now, but I'm the type of person I've got to get in there and get to doing it to really grasp it. What's up, Aaron A. Lynch? How's the grinder knowledge coming? You talking about my stump grinder, Justin? Well, if grinding mufflers is the worst part of building a saw, then maybe I might have it all right then. Yeah. It may be a little tough, but to me, you gotta get the chain grinder. Sorry, yeah, I about forgot about that thing. It's pretty good. It takes some getting used to, and I found out, and I'll try to make a video on it again. But I found out you don't want to, like I had my tooth angle, you know how they come like from the factory at a 35 or 25 or whatever. Had that dude sitting at probably about a 22 and a half, and I like that angle because on square ground, you know, you don't need it as steep as round ground. And but I found as you go back on the wheel, it makes that side plate grind way narrow, and then you got to reshape your wheel. But I think I've been doing it wrong. I've been taking it off the top of my wheel the whole time, and it's steepening my wheel up where I need to be taking it off the side and just knocking a little bit off at a time and not doing so much swooping. And like I say, it's hard to explain without it being out there at it, but I'll try to make a video and kind of explain it. But it's getting there. I like it pretty good, and I can still grind the chain. I mean, I'm grinding a chain that cuts, and to me, cuts way better than the round ground and holds a good edge. So I'm pretty happy with it. All right, Cajun buddy, we'll see you later. Yeah, I like the 28, Josh, for sure. I think it's about the best. Yeah, I've done a couple of the 5 Series mufflers, and they're by far the worst I've ever seen. That's why I like steel, because you just bolt that West Coast bark box on and you're done with it. Which they cost money, you know, a little more money than the pipe does, but it's a whole lot faster. I can't believe it's still raining outside. Can you?
It's still lightning, hey.
We'll see you later, Cajun. Be careful, man. Thanks for joining on the live feed. I've had a little better turnout than I thought I would for my first live. I appreciate everybody being on here for sure. What's up, John Bob? Yeah, I think if they could figure out a way to make a bark box or some kind of pretty decent muffler for the 5 Series, yeah, I think it'd be well worth it for sure. For sure. I think he's coming out with one of the last videos I watched his. I think he's coming out with some clutch covers for those 5 Series Huskies. Just got home. Worked them long days, ain't you, buddy? Storming like crazy here.
Keep it at the bottom.
Okay. H&L Supply has the 3 recruits. Yeah, I seen. Well, I don't know if it was H&L Supply, but I seen that the 261 has it's like 2 square ports coming out the front. I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not, but it's the one I looked at or seen was fairly expensive for to me for a 261 muffler. It's a busy day, John Bob. For sure. Super Dave, I don't know if they're going to make any or not, West Coast Saw or whatever. I know he's making clutch covers he's making filters now for the 572, or they're in the prototype stage, and then he talked about having a clutch cover designed for one that he was wanting to put on there, but they didn't have it ready in time or something like that. But I could see it being a good deal if they would come out with one. Yeah, it was a cool looking muffler for that 261, but it was, I think if I remember right, it was like $260 or something like that, or $200. I mean, it was crazy expensive. I agree with you, John Bob. Different saws like different mufflers for sure. I don't know if Aaron's still here or not, John Bob. He was here for a minute, and you just done something.
I'm
What's up, Southern Firewood? How are you, buddy? Yeah. Golly, I mentioned everyone all of a sudden. Having problems. I may try to start going live a little more often. I don't know. We'll see. Have to see how it is. There's a lot of lives right now. You know, there's a lot of people that go live different times throughout the week already. So I may not do it once a week, but I might try to start doing it maybe, you know, once every 2 weeks, once a month, or something like that. And I might try to start going live with other people or something, you know, every once in a while.
I still think you and JK need to have a saw fest.
Yeah, we might do that sometime for sure. Oh, golly. Now, I've seen that, Devin, on your 261. I like that muffle mod. I put one sort of like that on that new 261 I got. It's just got the one coming out the side though. I feel like it may, once that saw gets broken, it may be a little bit better than my redneck bark box for sure. But I'm not 100% sure. But I probably won't ever get a chance to do that, because as soon as I get a chance, I'm going to try to send those 2 saws to Aaron and John Bob. So I want to get a chance.
I didn't say anything.
You would have to look. Yeah. The old ported saws are really, really awesome. I'm gonna get Virginia on one for sure.
What, on the porta saw?
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll run it.
Get some video footage of you running a ported saw. Let you get up some firewood for me.
I don't care. I can do it.
I think my rip saw's supposed to be here Monday, the 400. I'm gonna put it up against Cajun's 400. See where rip saw's at for their port work. If they're worth what they charge on the deal. And they may make a good saw, but I just don't think they're gonna be. I don't think they're going to be as good as what Aaron and Cajun do, for sure. What?
I'm technically watching the weather.
Well, we're making fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you.
She's making fun of me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think she is. She might be.
I tell you.
I'm in trouble here.
Leave the buttons alone.
Sorry. Justin, I don't think you missed anything important. Yeah. I went back and forth on that 592 about getting imported. And I've talked to everybody that pork saws for me and told them I was going to send it, and then changed my mind. I like that 592 really, really well, but I mean, to me, once you get a 500i ported, you don't. I mean, the 592. I know the 592, if you got it ported, it would be probably stouter than the 500i, but the 500i ported is stouter than the 592, so, and that's about all the saw I need, so I don't know about that 592. John Bob said he has a 141 carcass laying under his bench. He'll pull it for you.
Okay. We might get you to build that, John Bob. Sure, your job's been hiking. Yeah, the 500i Tim, I believe is pretty good. Probably in the 400s my two favorite saws, honestly, and that's hard to say. Cause I used to run nothing but Husky. I wouldn't buy steel, would I? No, not at all.
Yeah. But once I got those two, I kind of changed my heart about steel for sure. They are terrible on gas. I will say that. And the Huskies are still more comfortable, but I've been seeing quite a few of those Huskies having, you know, some issues. Which I know there's a lot of people that run them. Eventually, everything's gonna have issues. I get that, but you know, some kind of low hour saws. That's right there in Team Steel. I like Farmer Tech stuff myself. I think for the money, it's really hard to go wrong if that's the kind of, if you're buying the old school platform. I mean, to me, which I know some songs you can't buy new or whatever anymore, but I think even if you can get them, I think the Farmer Tech's the way to go. Everyone that I've had has done pretty good, which I've not run them a ton, but a lot of people like them, so. Says, all right, 10 says 400 versus 562. Which one would I buy? I'd buy the 400, honestly. The 400. Now I know everybody cuts different. You see different things, but I think the 400 will honestly stock with the bark box. You know. Will cut with a stock 572. I think it will, or pretty close. If not, pretty close. And I've even got it to beat it in a few cuts. It might not quite do it in big wood, but I'd pick the 400 for the weight and everything. Just wondering, how's the 7900? It's good. I've not run it a lot. Like say, got the 500i ported. The 400 ported. It's hard. It's really hard to run the stock saws when I've got those other saws ported. But I've been talking to Cajun. Sometime, down the road, I want to send that 7900 to him. We may, or he may make a race saw out of it for me, or go further, as far as he can with it per se. I bet it did feel good to spend Aaron's money. He got a pretty nice 400 for that kind of money, though, for sure. It looked good in the pictures, anyhow. What's up, Jimbus Maximus? So that's how you pronounce that. Will be the best. I don't know, Tim. You may want to ask. You may ask some of these saw builders on here. Normally, everybody says one turn out. I don't know about the 661. I know the 660 that's supposed to send Weaver, and I ain't forgot about you, Weaver. I just ain't been up there to JK's to get it. I think that is about 1 1/4, 1 1/2 out on each of them. Yeah, that was a good deal on that 400 for sure. For sure. It's finally quit raining. Now there it kicked off.
Yeah, it's supposed to get bad again.
Is it?
And then in the wee hours of the morning, it's gonna get bad again.
Oh my. Yeah, I know, but I've been aiming to send that thing forever. I reckon he's got it done. It's just fuel lines cracked or something like that. And I thought that's what it was, kind of the impulse line and all that, but I've been laggy on it for sure. and I'm gonna send that bar with it too. So, how you liking that 500, Aaron? I think Aaron's done got converted to Mtronic and Auto Tune saws. Everybody's always about that screwdriver tuning until they run one. John Bob, we'll see you later. Good night. Thank you for joining the live feed. Are you going to port it anytime soon? That 500, Aaron? I got you. Getting all your customers out of the way and before you do your stuff. Justin, some people hate them, but a lot of people like them. To me, you got to run an Mtronic or Auto Tune saw more than one time to really enjoy them, because it takes the whole tuning out of them. Is what I like about them. Which I know you don't have to tune the stock saw real often, and not even a well ported carb saw, but you do have to tune them some. You see people all the time that's getting them back going, fiddling with them, trying to get them to run the best they can. And with those, you just let them sit there a minute, or like I still do the Mtronic reset, and then you're good to go for however long. So that's what I like about them. Yeah, that 400 port net really wakes it up for sure. Daylight and dark difference. They say the spark plug can be black, which, like I say, I'm no mechanic by no means. Of course, you may have it a little too rich on your settings, or you maybe mix a little bit too much oil in it. I have no idea. Like I say, you may want to ask more of a saw mechanic. There you go, Super Dave's helping you out with that 661.
I'm gonna go up. Ashley Lynn's lost power.
You're going up?
Yeah, Ashley Lynn's lost power.
Okay.
I'm gonna check and see if she's alright.
Okay. Some of the 661s are Mtronic and some of them are not. I think still gives you options on the 462, the 661, and even the 362. I think if you want, and they may be new old stock, but I've seen quite a few that still has the manual carbs on them. Myself, and somebody that knows more about them may chime in there, but as far as I know, still gives you the option. And like I say, they may be new old stock, but I like the Mtronic ones myself. The only thing about the 661 that I had, it and it may have been the bark box or whatever, but it seemed like it 4-stroke quite a bit in the cut. I've got a video of me cutting a walnut down. I think the video's titled "A Pretty Good Sized Walnut." I had a guy come on there and, well, you're 4-stroking that saw to death. You're gonna blow it up, blah blah blah. And it's and I even did the M-tronic reset. That's just the way the saw ran. It's kind of like the 500i. It wanted to be dogged in for sure. All right, Southern Firewood. We'll see you later, buddy. Thank you for joining the live feed. I don't know. Typically, honestly, believe it or not, typically right now is our slow time of the year. It seems like in the spring, fall, and winter, we're the busiest as far as having work. And it also may seem like that due to weather, because there's, sometimes working outside, of course, the weather plays a big role in the days you can work or whatever. And that may be why it feels like we're so much busier because that. But yeah, I think I've been watching two crews now for about a month or whatever, and I'm starting to get things balanced out like I had it when I was just watching one crew. So I think here in the next, little bit, once I work with this new crew a little bit more, I'll get it to where I'll trust them a little bit better to leave them there without me as much, and it'll kind of slow me down on my work deal. That ain't all of it. Like I say, some of it's this porch that I started 2 years ago that I need to be getting done. But yeah, so I'm hoping I ever get this porch done and all that, and I'll be back to making content a little more. Like I say, been trying to help my wife with the grandbaby a little bit more because she's with him all day, and right now he's kind of a handful. He's not bad. He's just a kid that's just learning to walk and all that kind of stuff, or learning to get into stuff. So he keeps everybody fairly busy. And so I've been trying to help out a little bit more with that. I've never run a 620p. I really like the 590s though. If the 620s are better than the 590s, then I can see where that would be about the best echo. I really like the 590s, and I like the price point too. I think that's the best bang for the buck saw there is. And I also like the 2511 after you do the muffler mod, and which I didn't know Egan made a straight shot pipe or whatever. I probably would just have bought one of them instead of spending all the time modding my muffler. But it worked pretty well the same, I think. But you change that echo to quarter pitch and put a muffler mod on that dude, and it totally turns that Echo 2511 around. That's my new favorite lemon saw or whatever. If I just got light work to do, I use that thing. I don't even pick up that Stihl 193T anymore. Use 1 1/4 on the 1 1/8 on the high. I'd probably go 1 and 1, see how that does. Yeah, I'd say I would, and which I don't need any more saws really. I have a bad problem of buying saws and I shouldn't, because I can only run so many, and I have all these ideas that I want to get these saws and try them, and some of them I do want to try for the channel, but I get them and then they sit there, I run them a couple times and then I go back to stuff I've been running. So yeah, I've heard that about the 620 being a little hotter, which I thought the 590 kept pretty good, but I'd like to try me one of those 620s for sure. It's just that 400 and I know it's closer to 70 cc's, but to me, weight plays a little bit of a role, you know. So to me, it weighs about like a 59, 60 cc saw. So to me, that 400 is really hard to beat in that rim, which I like the 562. The 562 used to be my favorite, one of my favorite saws, and it still is a, you know, I like the saw. There's nothing wrong with it. It pulls a 2-foot bar pretty good. But just to me, the 400 is exceptionally well. And there's some guys that don't like them, or not fond of them. They think they should be stouter for close to 70 cc saw. But honestly, if you're just running 2-foot bar on it, it does plenty well enough, I think, you know. That's just me. But honestly, I like all saws, really. I think most everybody can tell that. I'm not, I talk a lot of crap about this one and that one, and I run all of them, but a lot of those, me talking crap is just trying to be comical, really. I don't really get that wound up about saws, honestly. So like I say, at the end of the day, I'm going to run what I run, people's going to run what they run, and as long as you get wood cut, that's all that matters, I guess. Yeah, I'd say a ported 620 would probably be a pretty good saw for sure. I think you can. I think once you port a saw, no matter really the size or the CCs, it really does something to them. You know what I mean? Like bring them into a whole different class. That 400 and that 500, and I know I harp on it all the time, but they really run good. Which, so to me, they were really good running saw stock. So now that they're ported, they're even that much better. My only gripe about them is they do, you know, they either got a smaller fuel tank or they run through a lot of fuel for sure. Yeah, Justin, that'd be cool, man. I've been trying to talk to JK some. I ain't talked to him tons about it, but I've been trying to talk to him and maybe me and him getting together and doing maybe like a little saw get together or something, you know, kind of like Taz or Smitty's putting on or something like that. But have it here in southern Kentucky, and then maybe it'd be a middle point for a lot of people, you know. I run my oil mix about 42 to 45 to 1. Every once in a while I run it 40 to 1. And there for a long time I run it 50 to 1. But I recently changed oils. I was running the Maxima Fab 1, the purple stuff. It's the Ester Synthetic or whatever. And I changed to Amsoil just because I watch a lot of Richard Flagg stuff, and he shows what like steel oil does, which Maxima is a FD rated oil or whatever he calls it, so it should be pretty good. But I changed to Amsoil. I got me some Amsoil, and I ain't run it a lot, but I'm trying it out. I've got it mixed right now about 42 to 1. Roughly, I guess, if I got it figured right. All right, Jersey Josh, I appreciate you being here, buddy. I appreciate everybody that joined the live feed for sure. Had a, I don't care if there's 10, 20, or 30 loans. Everybody's talking and having a good time. It's really cool. So I may do a whole lot more live feeds in the near future. I think I like getting to talk to everybody. Not only just in comments, but like this. It's kind of like we're not in person, but kind of like we're in person. You know what I mean? I understand that, Weaver. I know how that is, buddy. Seems like every time you get ahead, something happens to. Well, that's the way it is for me, anyhow. I think Richard Flagg says that Red Armor is a FDA or FD rated oil or something. If you wonder about oil, go check his channel out. I think it's Richard Flagg. He has pretty good oil videos, I think. Yeah, Super Dave, I'm running the Sabre, the Amsoil Sabre. Yeah, I've been running 45 and 40 to 1, and all my plugs. I've got some shorts on my plugs, and they all look they're chocolatey brown or whatever. And that's what we get. Yeah, Justin, that's what I've kind of got to notice in the more lives and the more you interact with people, the more people that interact with you, And I try to interact. It's not that I'm not trying to be non-sociable with everybody. And if I miss a comment, I'm sorry. Something on my YouTube deal, something's crazy about that. Like, for some reason, I have to go into my YouTube studio and get on comments to see some comments, and then like my short comments, like on my short videos, I'll have to go to my YouTube studio to see those comments. They'll never pop up. And I'm not trying to be hateful. To some people I am hateful. If, they get on my comment section and act stupid, I'll fire right back at them. It don't really hurt my feelings too. Yeah, Tim, Richard Flagg is not very hip on that HP, still HP oil, and I ran it for a long time. I didn't really see that it did anything terrible, but I didn't run it for a terribly long time. I went to the Maxima pretty quick. Yeah, Justin, I like Hot Sauce 101. I watch a lot of his stuff. He hadn't put a video out in a while. I pretty much watch all YouTube TV. I don't watch any other kind of TV hardly anymore. I've got, I think I have all my channels public. Y'all go check them out. And that's pretty much what I watch all the time when I watch TV, which I don't watch a ton of TV. I'm pretty busy most of the time. But when I do get a chance to watch TV or whatever, or videos, on the phone or whatever, I will, I watch YouTube TV, so. Yep, and see, like, Justin, I've heard that, I've seen it both sides of it. People that run steel oils for ever and never had any problem with them, and some that, some say that there is a problem with them, so I don't know. What's that? I am in Kentucky. I live in Allen County, Kentucky, Scottsville. It's, I'm about 30 to 45 minutes north of Nashville. I live right on the Kentucky-Tennessee line. About 30 to 45 minutes north of Nashville, and about an hour hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe, shit, I don't know. South of Louisville. I'm kind of right in between Nashville and Louisville, if you was to look on the map. Directly in line on 65 there, right to the east of 65. I look crazy on these live feeds. People gonna think I'm nuts. They're right. Yeah, I'd like to go to Hopperstock. And you know, I went to Bunyan last year, and I should have took off work enough to go to Sawfest. I want to start going to more saw events, especially now that I've got ported saws. I'd like to get a chance for everybody to run them and stuff like that, or just if they ain't never run them. And plus, I'd like to meet other people and whatnot. How close am I? I live probably about 2 or 3 minutes from JK, honestly. I live probably as the crow flies, probably only a mile away or something like that. Mile and a half, 2 miles. Maybe not even that far. He lives like in the center of town, and I live on the right hand side of town. I actually live in Scottsville now. I used to live out in the county, the country, or whatever, but let's say we moved to town about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, everybody talks like there's always a good time. Hickory, North Carolina. I've done some work in North Carolina. I've worked about everywhere on the whole southeastern part of the U.S. This side of the Mississippi, and some on the other side. Yeah, I'd like to go up there. Like I say, I'd like to make all of them, but with work and my schedule around here, it's hard for me. I'd like to go to Bunyan again, not to meet anybody really, but Bunyan's just a cool place because if you're into saws or into, the only deal is there's not a whole lot of cutting that you can do. Like there's not, it's not going to be like at Sawfest or at Hopperstock where you're running other people's saw, but there's a lot of people that's got saws and a lot of stuff to do with the hobby we're in, Yeah, I don't know exactly when Smitty's event is. I knew he's having one, but I don't know exactly when it's going to be. Yeah, work's been pretty busy for me. Work, and side work, and work around the house for sure. Yeah, I've been trying to talk the missus into going to some of these events with me. Get her to run some saws. But I don't know. I'm probably going to try to plan more to go next year. Because I got to put in time for work. Give her, I ain't got to give a great big notice, but I like to give a pretty good notice. A few months ahead of time, and to put my time in. That way they can find somebody to fill in for me, and then make sure I got the funds to go and all that kind of stuff. Who's that? The dog? He's flipped over or something. Dog's blind as a bat, boy. Bless his heart. this channel has grown like crazy. I never expected for it to be at 10,000 subs in, you know, a year and a half. But I appreciate everybody that's here and I appreciate everybody that watches for sure. And whatnot. I don't know if I'm lagging or what. But anyway, guys, I'm fixing to get off here. I've been going for, I think it said 80 minutes or something like that. And I hate to run off. That's like, what, an hour and 20 minutes? It's nearly an hour and a half. For my first live feed, I think that's a fair amount of time. And I enjoyed chit-chatting with everybody and talking with everybody, talking with some newer names and whatnot. I appreciate everybody. Keep on watching, keep on liking, keep on subscribing, and you know, tell all your buddies about my channel. Get them hooked on to it. We'll catch y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for being here.